You hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/inkdependence keeps this blog ad-free. Hello folks, welcome to inkdependence.com. I'm Mike, and this is not a fountain pen. So if you're like, boo, anything but a fountain pen, this isn't the video for you. But if you're like me and you sometimes use other pens, this might be an interesting one for you. A friend of mine on the penaddict Slack said, hey, has anybody used these Sharpie S-Gel pens? And I said, no, but I'm totally into that. So Sharpie has been making some non-permanent Sharpies. Like everybody knows the big Sharpies, like this guy. But like this is double-ended. It's got the big chisel on one side, and it's got the like what they call a fine on the other side, which is, I mean, not fine, right? But these are great pens for marking boxes and things you want to like label big and boldly and permanently. But they also smell terrible and they bleed through almost everything. So they've been making other Sharpie pens, like the little stick pens and things like that. And those are, I'm not a huge fan of those, but I do love a gel pen. Those always seem like the little porous point ones always seem like they're going to be, I don't know, they're too light and they don't feel great on the page to me, but these I'm into. So this is the S-Gel. It is a no smear, no bleed technology, always vivid writing, ink colors, blue, black, red, medium 0.77. So here's the thing about these. I picked these up on the Amazon and because I'm not really going out all that much, and I was like, I can find these pretty easy. And they're pretty inexpensive, so they only come in 3 colors as far as I know, and you can get single color packs for at least the black ones. But this is a 4-pack for $5.27, so pretty inexpensive, and they have a very nice color palette. I mean, these blue, black, and red they're dense, they're sharp colors. I dig them. The 0.7 is it's a fairly wide 0.7, I think. As opposed to some of the others around. They also come in a 0.5 and a 1. The 1 has got to be a marker almost, but the 0.5 I think a lot of people might be into. I didn't see those, so I just grabbed the 0.7, because 0.7 is usually what I gravitate towards anyway. So let's take a look at this pen in particular. Here it is, and it's kind of an interesting shape. You've got this hourglassy sort of rubberized grip section here. You've got a plastic tip here. You have a little ring right in the middle that tells you what color the ink is, except for the black, which is silver. That just gives you like an accent color. But the blue and the red will tell you which ones they are. So the whole body is black, just a little accent color to tell you what they are, which is, I think, pretty cool. But if you have them in a pen cup or whatever, like, you're not going to be able to tell what color they are. So that's kind of too bad. Maybe they should have done something with a knock, or maybe something, put a little trim ring up here instead of making this ring up here black. Maybe they should make that the color. I don't know. Maybe they will in the future. But if you have these in a pen cup, you're not going to know what color they are. It does have this giant S-Gel and a big old Sharpie on the side. Now, Sharpie always has a big old Sharpie on the side. That's kind of what they do. The S-Gel is like, I think it's a little bit obnoxious, honestly. It's like kind of too big. If you look at a bunch of other pens, like they have like a bit of logoing on there, but not this giant S-Gel thing. So I don't know. I'm a little torn on that, but I mean, whatever. They're like a little more than $1 a piece. So there you go. I do like that they have the point size real big up here at the top of the clip. They have a pretty authoritative click. It is a plastic knock, of course, and I think they're pretty comfortable to hold. I tend to hold mine right here, which is at the waist of this hourglass, and I think if I held down here or higher up, it would be slightly more comfortable. This is just a little bit narrow for me. Let me grab my caliper. All right, let's see how big this is. Feels small. Well, it's 10.1, so I don't know. Usually 10 millimeters is right where I want it, but this does feel a little bit small. How big does it get? Up to 11.3-ish, but it goes all the way down to 10. So usually 10 millimeters is where I like it, but I don't know, for some reason it just feels a little small, and I couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's because I have these bigger humps next to it. I don't know. All right, let's open this guy up. You can see the trim ring is actually on the section bit there, and you can see here it has a very nice looking spring right there with double spring bits and one in the middle. I think it gives a little bit more strength and resilience. I like when they do a spring like that. You can see this is the red. The color is definitely obvious in there. Let's look at it next to a whole bunch of other pens, and we'll like do a little bit of a writing test between them. Okay, so this is the S-Gel, obviously. And then next to it, this is the Sakura Jelly Roll, which is, it's a pen I really like. This is the Pilot Juice, which is a very popular pen among, like, kind of stationary nerds of the gel pen variety. This is the 1.0, and nobody warned me that the 1.0 wasn't great. I don't love the 1.0, but I also don't really have any of the 0.5s or 0.7s, which I hear are amazing. Then we've got the Zebra Sarasa G, which is, or Zebra Sarasa, I don't know why I said that as a G, which is one of my favorites of this style. I don't really like the G2 all that much. In fact, do I even have a G2 to show? Hold on a sec. Aha! I do have one G2 left. So this is the Pilot G2. Everybody knows the G2. You kind of start out here when you start getting into nicer gel ink stuff. But G2 and the Sarasa are like the same size. Let's stick them there. And then you've got here, this is the Signo, the Uniball Signo. This is the 307 and the 207. I'll put those here. They're the same size and shape and everything, just very different inks. And then lastly, this is the one of the Pentel Intergel versions. This is the one I could get my hands on that was kind of a similar color. I have like oranges and greens and stuff, but I like this blue. This is a 1.0, but it is a really nice pen. Look at that. Listen to that click. It's good. Okay, so there we go. That's the kind of size range we're looking at, which is a totally normal size range. Like it's right in there, the same as the G2 and stuff like that. All right, let's take a look at a few scribbles just for grins. So now let's use the blue because I have a bunch of blues here. This is the Sharpie S-Gel. A little bit of a scribble there. This is the Pilot Juice. I should say this is the 1.0. This is the 0.7. And I think the Juice actually looks about the same size as this Sharpie. But again, I don't love this Juice 1.0. I don't think it's very good. It's the same as the Sharpie. This is the Jelly Roll. This is a 0.8. Nope. G. I don't know if anything has a thicker or richer ink than a Jelly Roll. Like, I mean, look at that. That's a dark blue, but it just looks, it is so dense. Then here we have the 0.7 Zebra Sarasa. And this is right here. This isn't the Sarasa Dry, which is my very favorite, but it's still a Sarasa. It gives you that same kind of color. This is the Pilot G2. This is actually a 0.38. I don't have any 0.5s Pilots because, I don't know, I don't really love them. I think they're okay. And actually, the best ones, I think, are these 0.38s because they don't give you any skipping or blobbing or anything, really, because they're so fine. Then, no, that's one of those. Let's do the 207 right quick. This is the Uniball. Let's go ahead and give the scribble on this side. This one's actually running out of ink. This is one of their BLX versions, the sort of blue blacks. But I like this one a lot. Signo. Is this a 0.7? Yeah. 207. And then we've got the 307. Which is a whole different ink. Very dark, very dense, very shiny. And takes a little while to dry, actually, these 307s. And they can have a tendency to bleed through some papers, but they're also like they're also very permanent. Like they're not going anywhere. And then we've got the Pentel Intergel. This is a 1.0. But that's what I had. 1.0. There you go. And compared to these, I think the Sharpie S-Gel really does look pretty darn good. Like it's got a blue that's on par with the Zebra Sarasa, not quite as vibrant. It's a different like shade of blue, and like almost as dense as any of these, which I think is pretty nice. So yeah, I think these Sharpie S-Gels are pretty good. I don't love the grip, I guess. I mean, if I had to compare them, I mean, I think the Signo like really has just an excellent grip. Like your fingers are in place and they don't feel like they're ever going to move. Whereas this one's just like, it's not as grippy as the Signo, but pretty darn good. Do I have any of these others that I like more? I don't know. I think I think the Signo wins at grips. The Sarasa wins at how it feels on the page. And I think the S-Gel is actually, I think it's a pretty good contender. I like these, except for like slight slipperiness maybe. And I don't like that big S-Gel. But anyway, there you go. Check these out at your local place where you find gel pens, which is pretty much everywhere, probably. Everybody's got like a Target or a Staples or Walmart or an Amazon or something. But for $5.27 for a 4-pack, I think this is a perfectly good price and definitely a pen to give a shot to. I haven't had any problems with it bleeding through paper or anything like that. It's not giving me any like weird like feathering or anything like that. Gel pens are pretty darn good at sticking around. So there you go. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.